if accounting was done before, this content of this material, okay. Yeah. So you must be seeing in the accounting part, I'll be sharing the 1 minute. I'll share a whiteboard so that one share. Yeah, is it visible?
Yeah, visible, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'll just take my whiteboard. Is my whiteboard visible?
Visible, ma'am.
Yeah. So if you see repairs and maintenance, it is used together most of the times. But if you see the real difference between repairs and maintenance, I hope everybody will know understands. Repair is more of the activity which is done after the damage has already happened. Okay, machine has already stopped, then you go for repairs. Maintenance is of a preventive nature, so you are reacting first so that the it acts, the machine works very productively. Okay, so maintenance is that activity. And why maintenance is needed? Because, and maintenance, if you take from costing and budgeting point of view, uh, it is very difficult to cost. Okay, because other things, they are rather like you can predict. Okay, there was a Smart India hackathon which usually the government conducts every year. One of our students team, they did a app on and they named that as a machine horoscope. So how that machine horoscope really works is, based on the different parameters, they can actually make out like when the machine is going for a repair. Okay, so that the preventive action is taken. Suppose if machine is gone, it's off, it's not working, then what are the costs which are involved? Okay, if machine is completely stopped, what are the costs which are involved? Machine is stopped.
Machine,
Yes,
machine is
the
stopped.
production.
Production will
Ma'am,
stop,
business
ma'am.
continuity will stop, ma'am.
Yes, the production activity stops and the business cycle itself comes to a standstill. Okay, so uh, because of the maintenance, management has its prominence because of this. Okay, so you are trying avoiding that. Okay, so but costing, it's difficult because you really can't predict when that machine will go for, or how frequently you have to go for maintenance. Okay, so sometimes, suppose machine is working well only. Suppose, let's think machine is working well, and still you have gone for maintaining that. Okay, as a preventive measure.
Periodic.
Okay, so
Periodic.
yeah. So what happens is your cost is going waste, right? So machine is fine. Suppose if you compare it with human beings, I'm completely fine, but still I'm going for the medical checkup of my whole body. Isn't it a cost for me? I have to spend many thousands of rupees just to get myself checked. Okay, so how frequently you have to? So there are certain factors. Okay, when we really have to go for maintenance. Okay, but today's class will limit ourselves only to the maintenance costing. Okay, maintenance costing. So we will see all the different types of cost classification. So what do you mean understand by cost? Cost is something, some price which we incur, some expense which we are incurring in uh, conducting an activity. Suppose I'm manufacturing. Okay, manufacturing cost. So we will not confuse ourselves with cost and price. Price is what which the customer pays. Cost is what which a businessman incurs. Okay, so if you have to find out the cost, cost accounting is a different field altogether. Okay. So costing process, it has, you can go to page number 31 of your study material if you really are having it. Okay. So it talks about the different process, different steps of costing. Okay. So first step of costing is collection and classification of cost. Collecting and
Classification.
classifying the maintenance cost. Then you have to allocate it to different departments. Okay, you must be having different departments in your organization wherever you're working. Okay,
Correct.
so here what happens is costing, you should be very particular, like which department it belongs to. Okay, does it belong to the foundry department? Does it belong to machine shop? Does it belong to the admin office? Okay, so you have to be very particular. Second step is departmentalization of it. Okay, then third one is absorption of maintenance cost. See, absorption is a, what does a sponge do? It absorbs the entire water. Okay. Now at the end, I should be able to tell how much of the cost. Okay, there are some common costs. Suppose we have collected the entire cost. Some costs are really mixed up. Okay. Suppose we are having a common uh, repairman. Okay, for different departments. Okay, he is coming. So how much cost do you allocate? So we are paying him, right? Or say there are certain materials which are used by different departments, so how do you allocate that to different departments? That is a big question. Okay, so then this absorption of cost will really we should be able to absorb both the direct and indirect costs. Okay, so this is the 3-step process of finding out the cost. Okay, now we will see, yeah, each step in detail. Okay, so but before that, we have to differentiate the cost on the basis of different criteria are there. Okay, we will differentiate the cost basis on different criteria. Okay, first criteria is according to the nature. According to the nature. Okay, costs are differentiated as per nature. Okay, as per nature, costs are differentiated. Costs are can be categorized as material cost, labor cost, and overheads. This is the categorization as per the nature. Okay, material cost is pretty clear because what are the things which you need for maintenance? Maybe you need some spare parts. Okay, so how much am I incurring on spare parts? How much am I incurring on some maybe oil, lubricating oil, or how much am I spending on some things which are needed for maintenance? Which are needed for maintenance. Maybe some nuts, bolts I need. Okay, spare parts I need. Some lubricating oil I need. Maybe some material to clean the maintain part I need, right? All these things come under the material cost. Okay, so nature, based on the nature of the cost, they are divided as material cost, labor cost, overheads cost. Okay, material cost, labor cost, and overheads cost. Okay, then coming to what is labor cost. Labor cost is pretty clear from the name itself. So maintenance, you have maintenance manager, you have other officers who are taking care of maintenance. Okay, you have some workers, you may be appointing some supervisors for maintenance. Okay, all those costs come under the labor cost. Okay, labor cost doesn't mean only the shop floor labor. Okay, here all the costs which are incurred for the maintenance purpose for paying it to the men or women who are working there is known as labor cost. Okay, material is for the material, the physical material which are needed. Labor is you're incurring to pay the remuneration for the people, that comes under the labor cost. Okay, apart from these costs, there are some overheads. Okay, what do you really mean by overheads? Okay, this is a quite a difficult term to understand. Okay, overheads, as the name means, it goes over your head. Okay, over your head. So why it is difficult? See, suppose there is a machine A. Machine A is there, machine B is there, machine C is there. Only suppose, let's assume hypothetically that we are in our whole of the factory, we have only three machines. Okay. So material cost, labor cost, I can easily differentiate. Okay. I know material, I bought the material, some spare parts only for machine A. I can directly allocate here. Okay. So for maintenance of A, I needed, say, 10,000 rupees worth material. Okay. For labor also, I can directly allocate. Okay. So for maintaining machine A, I have allocated, say, 2 or 3 men for the entire year. The salary incurred for them is, uh, say, 2 lakhs. Okay. These are only hypothetical figures, right? So
Okay.
material and labor, I can directly associate. So material and labor are known as direct cost. What are they known as? Direct cost.
Direct
Okay,
cost.
but overhead, yeah, overhead are indirect costs. Overhead are indirect costs. Like how, apart from material and labor, we have certain expenses. Okay, certain expenses. Maybe uh, all the three you are uh, a single person is maintaining all the three, or maybe some expenses are there which are common for all the three machines. Okay, that come under the overheads. Okay, that come under overheads. So these are the indirect costs which are incurred. Okay, now but I want to find out how much did I incur on machine A's maintenance, machine B's maintenance, machine C's maintenance separately. Okay, separately, right? I need it for the different decision making purposes, right? So for this, I need to suppose total indirect expenses for the year for all the three machines are 10 lakhs. I need to allocate it, divide it amongst A, B, C. So what is the criteria? What is the criteria? It is very difficult to find out. Or basis on different criteria, we usually allocate. Okay. Suppose if I allocate equally, okay. If I allocate equally, the danger is suppose machine A is hardly I'm using it. Okay, so machine A, suppose if it is really a person, machine A will speak out and say that, why should I bear the equal cost when I'm not being used throughout the year? Machine C is more used, so allocate more to that cost, more to C. Okay, so in our college, I work for a college, St. Pius 10 MBA college for women. Okay, there some of the we have different departments. Okay, we have social sciences department, we have management department, we have mathematics department. Different departments are there. So the things which we take for our department, they can be directly allocated to our department. Like suppose we are taking some chalk-piece boxes, some registers, some pens from the office. Okay, they can be directly associated, they can be directly allocated to our department's cost. But there are some common costs which are common. There is a common lift, so lift is being used by everybody. Okay, suppose I want to allocate that lift cost, or we have a common watchman. Okay, that cost to different departments. How do I really find out? Okay, so I need to find out a suitable basis of apportioning them. Okay, so that is overhead cost. Overhead costs are all indirect costs apart from material and labor. Okay, which have to be divided amongst the different machines or different departments or different whatever unit we are thinking about. Okay, here in my our case, it was departments. Okay, so whatever decision making unit you are talking about, overheads have to be divided. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, clear,
Yes.
ma'am. Clear,
Yeah.
clear.
So according to nature, we have three types of cost: material cost, labor cost, overheads. Material and labor are known as direct costs, and overheads is known as the indirect cost. Okay, indirect costs are the common costs which are incurred for all the decision making units. It has to be apportioned, okay, to different decision making units. Here, the decision making unit can be a machine, decision making unit can be a department, decision making unit can be a product. Okay, it can be anything, any unit. Okay, so this was as per according to nature of cost. Okay, now according to the normality. Okay, According to normal, we have normal cost, excuse me, abnormal cost. Normal cost and abnormal cost. Normal costs are like here, normal and abnormal, we see on the basis of what is usually incurred, what is incurred all of a sudden. Maybe it is not uh, frequent enough. Okay. If you see uh, meeting with an accident, machine meeting with an accident, or some fire accident has taken place, that is quite abnormal thing which can happen. Okay. Which is not normal, right? Some normal breakdowns will be there. Okay. Normally, because of the usage of the material, it gets wear and tear will be there, or something breaks down, some wire becomes weak and it breaks down. Okay, those things are normal. Okay, this is very easy to understand. So based on normality, something which is normally happening is known as normal maintenance cost. But suppose because of some abnormal reasons, it has never happened with that machine. Okay, that thing is known as abnormal maintenance cost. Okay, so it is rather easy to understand. So till now we have seen two, on the two bases we can divide the cost. First one was on the basis of nature. We have divided that into material cost, labor cost, and overheads. Now, as per the normality, we have divided that into normal cost and abnormal cost.
Cost.
Okay. Yes. Then, according to the type of maintenance action, you can yeah, I really believe they have not given headings to different things correctly. Okay. So A, they have given according to nature, that is correct. According to normality is correct. According to the type of maintenance action. Okay. According to the type of maintenance action, it is C is, yeah, according to the maintenance action.
Corrective action, proactive action, I think.
Yeah, corrective action and preventive action, right?
Yeah.
So after the breakdown has happened, we are maintaining it. That is breakdown maintenance activity. As a preventive thing, before breaking it down, before the breakdown, you are maintaining it. That is preventive action. Okay, that is also known as planned maintenance activity. Okay, so this was the third category. Fourth category was, you can make it as a D, according to controllability. According to controllability is the fourth type. Okay. So you have certain things which are controllable, which are uncontrollable. Okay. Suppose you have, for different machines, you have certain capacity. Maybe I need not overload the machine. See, lift also says that you only 600 kgs it can carry 600 kg or 4 persons. Some capacity will be there, right? Economic capacity will be there of any machine. Okay. So if you are following all the manual which comes with the machine, you have to use machine in certain way. Then even in case of cars also, they say that it is driven by a single person, then the resale value will be more, isn't it? So it is not handled by too many people. It is in good condition to say that, we say that, right? So here also controllable is some things which are in our control. We have used the machine as it was supposed to be used. Okay. Then also some costs are incurring, that is control. Those costs are controllable. Like those untoward incidents are avoided. So those are controllable costs. Uncontrollable costs are, they happen anyways. Okay. Even if you are handling it in a very good way also, some cost can happen. This, for this, you can give me a better answer because you are working with the machines. Okay. So controllable and uncontrollable. Controllable are some things which can be controlled. Uncontrollable costs are which cannot be controlled. They happen anyways. Okay. So these
Major,
are,
major,
this is, yes,
if
sir.
major breakdown comes, uncontrollable cost will increase.
Yeah, uncontrollable cost will increase.
Yeah.
Controllable costs are which is in our hands. We can avoid it actually. Okay.
Okay,
We can
okay.
control it by using it properly, using the machine properly. Okay, like say lift, I had taken, or say at home we have washing machine. Okay, it says that so many kgs only you have to load it. So you are using the machine correctly, so that you are avoiding controllable costs. Okay, then according to behavior, I will be spending more time on this. Okay, according to behavior. According to behavior. This is yet another category. So you can tell this category as category E. Okay, according to behavior. So how the cost behave? How the cost behave? Okay. So cost behavior. What is cost behavior? Cost really, do they have any behavior? Okay. So for this behavior, we will just draw some graphs. Okay, you can note it down in your books also. Okay. Some costs are known as fixed cost. Fixed cost are not fixed in nature really, but they are fixed up to some range. Okay. Suppose I take for maintaining the machines, or say I need a factory premises. I need a factory premises. I am taking it on rent. I'm taking it on rent. Okay. So isn't that a fixed cost? If I use it for producing one machine also, if I'm using it for producing 10 machines also, okay, the rent is fixed. Rent is
Fixed.
fixed,
Fixed.
right?
Correct.
So that is
Correct.
fixed cost. Okay. So fixed cost, is the rent forever fixed? No. Okay. So even the rental agreement says that after 5 years, we are increasing your rent, excuse me, rent by some 10%. Okay. So fixed costs are not fixed forever, but fixed cost is fixed in the sense that you can use the word as it is non-variable. Non-variable. Why is it non-variable? It is not variable as per the output. Okay, let's suppose I'm doing a business. I'm doing a business and I have taken one place on rent. Okay, so even if I'm producing zero output in a particular month, I didn't produce anything at all. Okay, is it possible that I may not pay the rent?
We need to pay, ma'am. Actually,
we
zero.
need to pay, isn't it? Even if the
Correct.
output is zero also, I need to pay the rent. Okay,
Correct.
suppose I'm producing 10,000 units. So will the landlord say that, no, you are producing 10,000 units, pay me more rent? No, I'm
No.
going to pay the same rent as per the rental agreement, whatever has happened. Okay, I'll pay the same rent. Say the rent is 20,000 per month. Okay, I will pay 20,000 only for that house, isn't it?
Correct.
Wherever
Correct.
I'm running my business, even if I'm producing zero, if I'm producing 10,000 units also, okay. But say the premises is sufficient for me to produce 10,000 units. Okay, so in that premises, in that room or in that house, I can produce up to 10,000. If I'm producing more than 10,000, that place isn't sufficient for me. Okay, sufficient for me to store, sufficient for me to work. Okay, so I'm going to the next level. I'm going to the next level. So this fixed cost will work something like this. Up to certain output, it is fixed. Okay. See, in our MBA college, what happens is the intake of the college is 60 per batch. Okay, so AICT, you must be knowing AICT, right? So it is
Yes,
the
ma'am.
regulatory body even for
Correct.
engineering colleges, right?
Correct,
All
ma'am.
India Council for Technical Education. Okay, so
Correct.
AICT, we have to pay the firm fees. Okay, so for every 60 students, we have to pay the uh,
Fees.
affiliation fees. Yeah, some fees we have to pay 60,000 or 1 lakh. I don't remember exactly. Okay, so 61 student is there, then we have to pay for 120 students. Okay. So
Okay.
our intake is in multiples of 60, 60, 120, 180, something like that. Okay. So till 60 students, my cost is 60,000 rupees. Okay. But once 61 student is admitted, my cost suddenly goes up to
120.
1,20,000, isn't it? Yes.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So it is fixed up to certain level, fixed up to a certain time. Okay. So this year, maybe the AICT is charging 60,000 rupees. Next year, AICT will increase the price? Maybe.
100, maybe.
Okay, yeah. Maybe they will increase the price to 70,000 per batch of students. Okay. So these fixed costs are fixed for a given particular time period. They are fixed for a given level of output, for a given level of output. Okay. But so that's why it is known as fixed cost. That's why they are known as fixed cost. But fixed is not the exact term. You should be seeing that as a non-variable cost. It is not varying. Not it is not varying. These costs are not changing. They are not a function of the output. Is that clear? They are not a function.
Clear,
Okay,
ma'am.
because output is increasing, costs are not increasing. Okay. Is that clear? Fixed cost is clear?
Clear, ma'am.
Yeah. So here, if you have output, if you have fixed cost, so you will get a straight line. Okay, output 0 I produce, 10,000 I produce, fixed cost will remain same, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but now we have a tendency of finding out average cost. Okay, so say I'm producing, how much rent did I say I was paying? 20,000 rupees,
20,000.
isn't it? 20,000 rupees. So if I produce, suppose, 1,000 units, 1,000 units, how much is the fixed cost per unit? 1,000 units.
200.
Fixed cost per unit is 200 rupees. Okay,
Yes.
200
No,
rupees.
sir, ma'am.
Okay.
20, ma'am. 20, sorry.
20 only?
20 only.
Yeah, 20 only. Right. Okay. Suppose if I'm producing all the 10,000 units,
1 rupee, ma'am. 2
1
rupees,
rupee.
sorry. 2 rupees.
2 rupees. Okay, 2 rupees. Right. So fixed cost per unit or the average cost will be decreasing as I increase the output. Okay. The fixed cost per unit will decrease as I increase the output. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So it will be a decreasing curve. It will be a decreasing curve as the output increases. As the output increases, my average cost, average fixed cost will decrease.
Decrease.
It will decrease. Is it
Correct.
clear? Fixed cost is clear?
Clear,
So
ma'am.
fixed cost, we have drawn two graphs. One was for total fixed cost. One was for average fixed cost. Average fixed cost. So whenever you are attempting the answer in this cost, it will be really, your answer will be really good if you can really draw the graph and explain it a bit. Okay. This explanation is missing in your textbook, but it would be really good if you can tell. Give some examples in each and you can tell. Okay. So in
Okay,
fixed cost, usually rent comes, salary of the foreman or salary of the supervisor will come. So even if no repairs are there in a particular, say everything you have to talk. I was talking from the point of view of production. Maybe you can talk from the point of view of maintenance. That's all. Okay.
okay.
So I was talking like 10,000 are produced, 0 are produced, 1,000 are produced. You can say that what if 10,000 machines are for repair, 1,000 machines are for repair, like that. Okay. Are for maintenance. Okay. Because the subject is maintenance management. Okay. But the normally it works out same way. Right. Okay. Next, shall we move to variable cost?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So variable cost, as the name implies, it is variable in nature. So variable in what? With what? Okay. So variable with respect to output. So it is a function of, it is directly proportional to the output. Okay. In the earlier case of producing something, usually I take, I want to do the ice cream business, suppose. Okay. So I'm producing ice creams. Even if I'm renting out that premises for 20,000. The rent of the house was 20,000. Okay, even if I produce 0 ice creams, also I have to pay the rent. Even if I'm producing 10,000 ice creams, also I have to pay the rent. But if I'm producing 10,001 ice cream, the refrigerator facility or the place, whichever is there, it is not sufficient. So I have to rent one more house by paying 20,000 rent. Okay. So here, 20,000 was the fixed cost. Okay. Now here, for producing ice creams, I need some material, right? I need
Yes,
the
ma'am.
ingredients. I need to employ some people. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. For all that, suppose I need, say, my cost is variable cost. Usually it will be denoted per unit. Okay. Per unit of variable cost will be fixed. Okay. Say to produce one ice cream, one piece of ice cream, vanilla ice cream, I'm producing only vanilla, suppose. I incur 7 rupees per unit. 7 rupees per unit. Means material, labor, cost, everything put together is 7 rupees. If I'm producing 0 ice creams, how much do I incur?
0.
I'm not buying milk, I'm not buying sugar, I'm not buying anything
0,
at all.
ma'am.
I will
0.
incur 0. 0.
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose
Yes.
if I'm producing 10 ice creams, I will
70.
incur 70 rupees. Okay, this is directly proportional. More ice creams I'm producing, I require proportionately more milk, more people to manufacture, more sugar I need. And that is in proportion, isn't it? That is
Yes,
in
ma'am.
proportion. Okay. So this is variable cost. This is variable cost. Variable in the sense that variable costs are directly proportional with the output. Okay. The same
Okay.
thing, same example, you can convert that to for maintenance. Okay. So some costs which are directly proportional for maintaining of some product, maintenance of the machines. Okay. That costs are known as variable costs. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
ma'am.
Is that clear? Okay.
Clear, ma'am.
Suppose for maintaining more machines, you need more material cost. Okay. So they are directly proportional to that whatever you are measuring. Okay. So if you see the total variable cost, if the output is 0, my requirement was 0. Okay. Output was 10 ice creams. I had to spend 70 rupees. Okay. So it will be a line which is something like this. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Increase.
Yeah. For 10,000 ice creams, I need 70,000 worth
70,000.
material, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
70,000.
Increase.
So
Yes, ma'am.
cost, I'm taking it on Y axis, and output, I'm taking it on X axis. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Usually you all know, right? All the independent variables, we take it on X axis, and dependent variable, we take it on Y axis.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Except in one of the laws, which is happens to be the law of demand. Law of demand, you must have studied in economics. Did you have economics before in any of the semesters?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, in law of demand only, we don't take independent variable on x-axis. We take instead dependent variable on x-axis. It is because of different reasons. Okay, but otherwise, independent variable is always taken on x-axis and dependent variable on y-axis. So here, variable cost, total variable costs are something like this. Fixed cost, total fixed cost was like this. Okay, variable cost is like this. Okay.
Increasing.
Yeah, increasing in proportion, and for 0 it will be 0. It starts from the
Yes,
origin.
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
this is a graph for total variable cost. This is a graph for total fixed cost. Okay, now average variable cost will be like this, isn't it?
Same only. Same only. Same. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, for even if I produce 0 also, the 7 means
Yes, ma'am.
I require 7 rupees per unit.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
7 rupees per unit. Okay,
Correct,
so
ma'am.
average variable cost will be a straight line. Okay, for 7 rupees. Okay,
Okay.
so these two things we have done. We will take one more cost, which is having the properties of both the types of cost. Semi-variable cost. It has some properties of fixed cost, some properties of variable cost. Okay, some properties of fixed cost, and some properties of variable cost. Okay. So in terms of maintenance, because I have never worked in industry, I really am not able to imagine the cost. But as a consumer, I have seen. So before, maybe the landline phone we used to have of BSNL. Okay. It
Okay.
used to have some component which was fixed in nature and some component which was variable in nature. Like in the sense that to use the service, I had to pay 300 rupees per month. Okay. In 300 rupees, that BSNL used to give me some 100 calls free. Okay. Now, then after 100 calls, every call cost me, and call used to be of 3 minutes. Okay, remember. So 3 minutes is, suppose if with a particular person I'm talking for around 30 minutes, so it is counted as 10 calls. Okay, 10 calls of 3 minutes each. So every 3 minutes was one call. Okay. So now after the one after 100 calls, free calls gets over, each call is charged 3 rupees per call. 3 rupees, or maybe 1 rupee per call, suppose 1 rupee per call. It used to charge. They used to charge. So this was the variable component and this was the fixed component. Okay. For that providing of the service, it was 300 rupees. Suppose in a particular month, I have done some 90 calls. How much bill I will get?
300, ma'am.
300 rupees, only the fixed component. Okay.
Yes.
Suppose I have made 150 calls.
300
I have
plus
made
50 for
yeah,
350.
300 plus 50.
50.
So it has
Easy.
both the components in it, embedded in it, fixed component as well as variable component. This varies as per my usage. This remains fixed irrespective of whether I use the instrument or not. Suppose I am out of station for the entire month, for the entire year also, I have to pay uh, the bill. Okay.
Yes,
300 I have to pay because that service is still on. Okay, I could have used, but I didn't use. So I have to pay that 300 rental compulsorily. So this is a semi-variable cost. Okay. So you can maybe think of some example in for semi-variable cost in terms of maintenance also. Okay. So part of the component will be fixed and part of the component will be variable. Okay, part of the component will be variable. Maybe some setup is needed wherein that has to be there for repairs and maintenance in the your production unit. So that part is fixed component, and the rest, maybe you are hiring some people only when maintenance activity is there. That is a variable cost. Okay, is it clear?
clear, ma'am.
So maybe you are having some people permanently employed throughout the year. That is a fixed component. Maybe some people you are hiring them when needed. Okay, only on that maintenance activity is carried on. Then that is a variable cost, variable component. Okay, so this is one more classification. So far we have done. How much time do I have? I'm not able to see the time. Next time I will take the class on my laptop so that uh, I can use the Zoom's whiteboard only, and I'll come prepared with a PPT also. I'm so sorry.
No
It was
problem.
told,
No.
yeah, yesterday also I couldn't attend the meeting. I don't know whether it was told to you prior, because I'm so sorry. There was a prior appointment and I couldn't avoid that. Okay, but don't worry. Nevertheless, I will be able to finish the syllabus in due time. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
1 minute, ma'am. I'm seeing 5:30 till 5:30. 4:30 to
Okay.
5:30.
But what is the time now, sir? Yeah, 4:30 to 5:30.
Maintenance, 5:12, ma'am. Now.
5 till. So still I have 15 minutes of time, right? Okay. So we'll continue further. So
15
far
minutes.
we have done according to the nature, according to the normality, according to the maintenance action, according to the controllability, and according to the behavior. Okay. Last one, there are two more, I think. Yeah. According to the impact of maintenance. Impact of maintenance, he has categorized as direct maintenance cost, cost of standby equipment, and opportunity cost. Yeah, it's rather easy to understand here. Direct maintenance cost. See, suppose equipment is not there with us. Okay, equipment is not there. The cost incurred to keep the equipment and systems operable. Okay, to repair that machine, how much cost is needed. Okay, so there is a machine, okay, to repair that or to maintain that. How much cost is needed? How much material cost is needed? How much labor cost is needed? How much overheads are needed? That is known as direct maintenance cost. Okay, direct maintenance cost. So it's as good as for repairing this or for maintaining this, how much am I incurring? How much am I incurring? That is known as direct maintenance cost. Okay. Then suppose this machine is not working well. It has gone for repair. Okay, it has gone for repair or it is being maintained. So because my production, see, there are two ways. Like I can have the all the machines. I can have two parallel sets of machines. Okay. So during that maintenance activity, I can have the maintenance of the activity shifts. Okay. Maybe the series of machines, say I'm using only two machines. Okay, in my company. Okay, machine A I have given for maintenance. I can run it on machine B. Okay, I can run it on machine A, B. So this is cost of standby equipment. Or say both the machines are for maintenance. I am ordering for one more standby machine. Okay. So what is the cost of that standby equipment? So that is also the impact of maintenance. Okay, that is also the impact of maintenance. So here I need to repair this. That is the direct maintenance cost. Okay. In the absence of this machine, I have to go for some standby equipment. For that, I'm incurring some cost. So that standby equipment cost. Standby equipment cost. And one more cost is opportunity cost. Okay, opportunity cost also you must have very well studied in economics. Okay. Say that machine is not there. Okay. If this machine is not there, it is gone for repairs. My production has come to a standstill. Okay. So in that standstill thing, how much of the products I would have manufactured, I would have sold, on that I have lost the revenue. Okay. That is known as opportunity cost. If this machine would have been there, I would have carried on my production activity. I would have sold some products. Okay. So what was the revenue earned on that? That is known as opportunity cost. This is yet another way of classifying based on the impact of maintenance. So because of the maintenance, I am incurring the direct maintenance cost. I'm incurring on standby equipment cost, and also, excuse me, I'm incurring on opportunity cost due to repairs. Okay. So these are the different costs as per the impact of maintenance. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Then lastly, according to the type of budget, they are divided as revenue cost and capital cost. Revenue cost, capital cost. This accounts, was it there in your curriculum before? Accounting,
Yes, ma'am.
was it there?
Yes,
There you
ma'am. But
must have learned these terms revenue and capital. Okay.
yes, ma'am. Yes,
Something,
ma'am.
yeah, something which is of short-term nature, we call it as revenue. Something which is of long-term nature, we call it as capital. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Capital cost and revenue cost. Revenue cost is something which you incur and benefit you derive immediately within that accounting period. That is known as revenue cost. Capital costs are you incur on that, but you derive the benefit for more number of years. Okay. Suppose I'll tell you, you have, there is a machine, you have upgraded the machine. You have upgraded the machine. Okay. So that its economic life is prolonged or its efficiency is increased. Okay. Its efficiency is increased because of upgradation. Okay. For that, you have spent some more money on that. Okay. That is known as capital cost. Okay. So you are investing the money now for maintaining the machine A, and the benefit you derive for more than 1 year. Okay, more than 1 year. But whereas revenue cost, the benefit you derive in the same year. Suppose there was some breakdown, I have repaired that, and over. That machine is working with the same efficiency only as before. Okay, there was a normal repair, I've repaired it. Okay, its efficiency didn't increase, I didn't upgrade it, I didn't do anything at all. Okay, I just had found out a temporary solution for that, and I'm doing it. Okay, so that is known as revenue cost. Okay, revenue cost is more like I'm spending on that machine and I'm getting the benefit in the same accounting period. Okay, capital cost is maybe a prolonged uh, benefit. Okay, so more than 1 year I get the benefit. Okay, is that clear? Is
Clear,
this
ma'am.
differentiation clear? Revenue is more of short-term nature, capital is for the long-term nature. Okay, so this
Okay.
was the different types of cost which you have. Okay, then later it talks about, this was the different types of cost. So you have to allocate the different costs, whatever you have incurred on maintenance. Okay, the next is you departmentalize that. Okay, after classification and collection. See, you have classified the different costs, controllable, uncontrollable. You have jotted down all the costs. You have measured it. Okay, you have written down. Then you separate the cost as per the departmentalization. So departmentalization can be as per the, see, I was talking about the units, right? Units can be processes. Units can be, it is given in your page number 33. Okay, units can be equipment. Okay, we were talking about machine A, machine B. Okay, or unit can be different product. Okay, suppose if your company is producing many multiple products. Okay, so you are dividing the maintenance cost as per the product. Okay, or as per the equipment, as per the machines. Okay, or as per the processes. If it is a continuous process, maybe as per the process A, process B, whatever processes are there, you are dividing the maintenance cost as per that, or as per the departments. Okay, so departmentalization doesn't mean uh, always department should be there. It is dividing of the cost to the lowest unit. If your lowest unit happens to be product, the each product, how much maintenance cost is for different products. See, why do you really categorize that is, suppose one of the products, the maintenance is more. What will happen if I don't divide them into departments? See, suppose the whole unit, our college, the whole college costs are incurred and they are put together. Okay. There can be some departments which are cost consuming. I tell the same thing to our principal sister. Uh, see, for other labs, they are cost centers. Okay. Suppose chemistry, you have to set up a lab. Physics, you have to set up a lab. They are cost centers. Okay, but I was asking her to set up a finance lab for MBA. Okay, finance lab where maybe we give some investment to the people there, students and faculty, whoever are working in the finance lab, and they can invest in stock markets and they can generate some revenue. Okay, they can make some profits. So here they are experimenting whatever they are learning in theory. So this is termed as revenue center. Okay, it is revenue center.
Center.
Okay, yeah. Suppose what will happen if the costs are not segregated in our college? Okay, there can be some departments where the cost incurred is more. Okay, cost incurred is more, but number of students are less and the revenue generated is less. So aren't we uh, treating each of the departments in the same way?
No, ma'am. Not.
No, we are,
Mm.
if suppose all the costs are accumulated, they are together, they are not segregated as per the departments, and all the revenues are also together. Maybe we have 2,500 odd students, all the revenue are put together only. Then we are not finding out the profitability of each and every department. Okay, suppose there are some departments where cost incurred is more but revenue generated is very less. Say the physics, it's maybe not many students are preferring physics at their UG and PG levels. Okay. So suppose we still have the physics department and number of student admissions are only 5 out of 60. Okay. Students are filled. We are getting fees of only 5 students and cost incurred is more, right? We need to allocate a faculty. We need to allocate everything, lab, everything for the 5 students also. Costs are more, then revenues are less, then aren't we treating different departments equally in this case?
No,
We
ma'am.
shouldn't be doing that. Yeah.
Yes.
So what we do is when we segregate the costs and revenue, when we departmentalize that, as per the product, we are finding out the profitability of each of the product. Say one of the products, suppose we are working in 4 products, A, B, C, D. Okay. This product, the revenue generated is quite less, but maintenance wise, it is quite high. Okay. Here, it's high. Okay. Here, the maintenance is quite low. Okay. Here the revenue generated is low. Revenue is low. But here revenue is high. Okay. If I don't departmentalize this, I won't be able to know the profitability of each and every product. In this case, I can rule out this product. I can stop production of this. Okay. It's a loss making unit. So I can just remove that from my portfolio. Isn't it? Can't I do that? Can I do that or no? Here the maintenance expenses are very high, but that product, we are hardly selling very few units in a year. Okay, so I can rule out that product. Okay, so
Yes,
this
ma'am.
thing can happen only when you departmentalize. You departmentalize. Okay, so this was indeed one more step. So first one, we have collected all the cost. Then what we have done? We have departmentalization of cost. Okay, then in departmentalization of the cost only, he is giving you of allocations, apportioning, etc. Apportioning will happen only when, see, allocation, uh, hmm, I'll tell you the difference between allocation. It is all there in the page number 33 only. I'll tell you the difference between allocation and apportioning. Okay. Direct cost, we talk of allocation. Okay. There are some direct costs, but still I can, yeah, which are limited only to, see, I have 3 products. I can allocate the cost to A, B, C independently. Those are direct costs. Okay, those are direct costs. So these costs are incurred only for product A. Some costs are there which are happened for only B, only C. I can allocate to them. Okay. But some, as I have told you before also, there are some overheads which has to be apportioned. Apportioned is, we are finding out a criteria to divide them. I gave you an example of lift. Lift is the common service which all the departments are using. How do I apportion that? How do I apportion that? How do I divide it amongst A, B, C is a question. Okay. So that is known as apportioning. Apportioning is a forceful allocation. A forceful allocation where I have to think a lot. Okay. So suppose I allocate it equally, I apportion it equally. Then there is a question that people who are in ground floor, there are some departments which are at ground floor. They will say that we are not using the lift at all. Why should we bear the cost? There are some people who are in the 5th floor. They should bear the lift cost more because their department is in 5th floor, isn't it? So
Yes.
apportioning is dividing the cost, common cost, to different products based on some suitable criteria. Usually in maintenance, usually in products manufacturing, okay, it is as per the sale generated. It is usually as per the sales generated. Okay. Wherever sales are more, we allocate it to, we apportion that more to that particular product. Okay. Higher the sales, higher they will bear the cost. Because it is an assumption that this product is being sold more means we have produced it more. Isn't it? So machines have been maintained more. So it is apportioned more to that particular machine or product. Okay. Is it clear so far?
Clear, ma'am.
Yeah. So you find out something known as maintenance overhead rate also. Overhead rate based on the budget, based on the previous experience, you find out, see, overheads, you will come to know about the common cost only at the end of year, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you will come to know only at the end of year. Then only you have to apportion. So based on your previous experience, what you do is, you find out the overhead rate. Okay. Overhead rate is, suppose overhead rate we have found out as 50 rupees per uh, per hour. Okay, 50 rupees per hour. Maybe that machine is not available for you for 3 hours. I'm just taking it as hypothetical example, please. Okay. So that's such rate we have to find out based on the previous year's experience. Okay, previous year's budget we can find out, and that you can use, because overheads are only collected only after the financial year gets over. Okay, and that will be too late, because before we are doing costing, and at the end some correction is there of over absorption and under absorption, that can be done later. Okay, that can be done later, right? So maintenance overhead rate also, it's given as dash into 100 rupees. So you can see that in page number 33. Apart from that, you also have some office and administrative overheads. Okay, office and administrative overheads also has to be taken into consideration. So far we were discussing only about at the shop floor level for maintenance. Apart from that, you need to have some office, you incur some office and administration expenses for your maintenance department. Okay, so even those costs have to be taken into consideration. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Any doubts? Like to take any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So next class, what I'll do is I will try to bring the PPT of all the 4 units, and maybe I will see. I will divide that, and I will tell you the how I'll be covering in the rest of the 6 classes I will be having. Okay.
Okay,
Totally
ma'am.
8 classes were there. Yesterday's class I have lost. Today's class
Okay,
in
ma'am.
numericals as such, only one or two. One numerical is there, I think, in one of the units, because I have handled this subject last time also for your seniors. So
Okay,
only
ma'am.
one numerical is there, but there is lots of typing errors in that your study material. I'll cover that also.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
So only that numerical is there. Apart
Okay,
from
ma'am.
that, I didn't see any numericals. Okay. We'll
Okay,
be
ma'am.
discussing, if time permits, in the last class, we'll discuss some case studies. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So
Okay, ma'am.
I'll tell you how I'll be dividing the syllabus, and I'll share the PPT, and I'll be taking the class from the laptop next time onwards. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Any doubts?
No, ma'am. Crystal and clear, you said.
Sorry. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not able to exit. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. We are leaving.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you,
We'll
ma'am.
meet next week. Okay.
How attendance? How is the ma'am? How to calculate
Yes, sir.
attendance? Participant attendance. Who count?
I don't know. There was some. I previously also I didn't take the attendance anytime.
Okay, ma'am.
But these are all, I think, recorded sessions.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
can view that
Actually,
later. You can view
yes.
that later. So I don't think attendance
In
is
WhatsApp group,
serious.
Radhakrishna sir mentioned that we count like attendance, how many classes you attend.
Okay. I don't know about that, sir. Okay.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Instructors won't take attendance. That is for sure.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll meet next Saturday. Okay. Thank
okay,
you so
ma'am.
much.
Thank
Yeah.
you, ma'am.